Hello, this is Kaleem, and in this video, we are going to tell you the best way to memorize values of the trigonometric functions for the standard angles like 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. Number one, theta equals to 30 degrees, or in radians, it is called pi by 6 radians. If you know the value of sine 30 and cosine 30, you can determine the values of the rest of the trigonometric functions. The value of sine 30 degrees, everybody knows that sine 30 degrees is 1 over 2 and cos 30 degrees is radical 3 over 2. If you know these two values, sine 30 equals to 1 over 2 and cosine 30 equals to radical 3 over 2, you can determine very easily the rest of the values of trigonometric functions for 30 degrees. For instance, if you want to determine what is the value of tan 30 degrees, and you know that tan is sine upon cos, sine 30 upon cos 30. So if you know the value of sine 30 and cos 30, you simply have to divide the values and get the values of tangent 30. Sine 30 is 1 over 2 and tan 30 is radical 3 over 2 and 2 will be cancelled. So the value of tan 30 degrees will be 1 over radical 3. Simple. Similarly, if you want to know the value of cot 30 degree, so cot 30 is cos 30 upon sine 30. So in numerator you will have cosine and in denominator you will have value of the sine. If you know the value of cosine 30 degrees, it is radical 3 over 2 and value of sine 30 is 1 over 2. Simply you have to divide and you will get the value of cot radical 3. This is very simple. Similarly, if you want to find the value of cosec 30 degrees, and you should know that cosec 30 degree is inverse of sine 30 degree and sine 30 degree is equal to 1 over 2, so cosec 30 degree will be equal to 2. Similarly, if you want to know the value of sec 30 degree, you know that sec is inverse of cosine. So therefore, you just have to take the inverse of the value of the cosine. Cosine value is radical 3 over 2, so value of the sec 30 degree should be 2 over radical 3. Believe me that this method is universal and it is applied for all the quadrantal angles as well, every angle. 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees. In the next video, inshallah, we will learn how to memorize the values of the trigonometric functions for all these quadrantal angles. Similarly, if you know the values of sine 30 and cosine 30, this pair, and if you don't know, just you have to shuffle these values. The value of cosine 60 and sine 30 is same. Similarly, the value of cosine 30 and sine 60 is same. These interchange these values. Alright, so if you know the values of sine 30 and cosine 30, you also know the values of sine 60 and cosine 60 because they alternate the values. So if you know sine 60 and cosine 60 now, you can simply determine the values of all the remaining trigonometric functions. Like if you want to know the value of tangent 60, now you can also do it in your mind because you know that tangent is sine upon cos. The value of sine is radical 3 upon 2 and value of cosine is 1 over 2. So 2 will be cancelled and value of tangent 60 is going to be radical 3. This is simple. Similarly, for cot 60 is cosine upon sine. So you have to keep the cosine value in the numerator and the sine value in the denominator and 2 will be cancelled. So the answer will be 1 over square root 3. Yeah, you can do it in your mind. Similarly, if you want to know the value of cosec 60 is inverse of sine 60 and sine 60 is radical 3 upon 2. So this is going to be square root 2 upon radical 3. Similarly, sec 60 degree is going to be the inverse of cosine 60, which is 1 over 2. So the inverse will be 2. Similarly, the values of sine 45 and cosine 45, we know that both of these values are same, 1 over square root 2 and 1 over square root 2. You can also memorize these values easily because the value is same, 1 over square root 2. So the value of tangent 45 degrees is going to be 1 because it is the ratio of sine and cosine. Because sine and cosine both have the same values, the ratio is going to be 1. Similarly, cot 45, cotangent is also a ratio of cosine and sine, cosine over sine. So cosine and sine both have the same value, so the ratio will be 1. And the value of cosec 45 degree is going to be the inverse of sine. Sine has the value 1 over square root 2, so it has the value 1 over square root 2. Similarly, sec 45 degree is going to be square root 2 as well. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please share and also subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much.